Alright, YouTube should be live. We should be streaming in the Discord as well. We will start in just a moment. Okay, it looks like the YouTube stream is live. I'm going to go ahead and post that in the Discord as well for people to see if they want to watch on YouTube. Okay, it looks like the YouTube stream is live. YouTube is a little bit delayed, so I'm going to turn it off on my end. I'm going to go ahead and post. Alright, everybody. It is the week of December 22nd. I'm going to be tuning. Just so everyone knows, I'm not probably going to tune very hard today because I don't plan to trade a whole lot this week. I kind of expect this week to be very slow or low volume. It's just with big holidays like Christmas coming up, there's a pretty good chance Tuesday through Friday it'll be a little slow and choppy. I'll still give it a good tune, but I'm mostly looking to trade tomorrow, and then I'll probably just cut it off unless it's just really good for some reason. So let's go ahead and we'll turn on CWAP. I'll do shark fin. I already got shark fin on there, don't I? And CWAP. Yeah, we'll do that, and then maybe look for some kind of reversal signals on the bands. Alright. We'll start with CWAP. CWAP's still doing a pretty good job. Not hating what it's been putting out at all lately. Let's make sure we've got at least 10 days. I got 3 loaded. I'm going to go for 10 on the days I'm tuning to. For those who want to know, I'm tuning on the NQ chart, and I'm using the ARC BXT as in boy, B as in boy XT 8520 chart. I had a couple questions sent to me this week of what chart I use, and that's the one I've been using. Check 1, 2. Am I loud enough? Check 1, 2. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and see what we've got. Alright, for 10 days, we are loading at 63% win rate on the CWAP. That's 26 wins with 15 losses. It's tallying up 338 points versus a loss of 195 points. And just so we can review real quick on the CWAP, what kind of risk to reward ratios and profit and targets we've been looking at. It's set to 52 right here on both. So it's a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And it looks like it's doing a pretty good job of staying ahead. So I'm not thinking I'm going to change the CWAP here. What I do want to do is I want to go back and just see what kind of wins and losses. And I've got the exits turned on here. That's the pink. And green colored font right there where the exits are getting hit. If it's green, it's going to be a win. It'll have a W on it. If it's a loss, it'll have an L on it. And so right here, that right here was a loss. It tried to go long, and it got stopped out. And the same thing over here for the win. It went short and won. Another win, loss here. Let's continue to look. I do have the settings pretty much the same as I've had them, so they shouldn't have changed. There's another win. And not a lot of huge runs so far on the wins, but not terrible wins. So I'm going to say, as of right now, I'm not hating what's going on with the CWAP. We did have this huge run-up day. And that's bringing me to look over here at the 4-hour chart. And I think this is just going to be necessary as far as what we see here. The 4-hour chart shows that we had a huge sell-off, another huge sell-off right into the Chompsky fibs. And for those of you watching in the chat on the NQMNQ live in the Discord, last week you would have seen me say I do expect some kind of resilience down here at this area. I wasn't expecting it to bounce this hard, but it certainly did. It bounced really, really hard off of the 62% area here, 61.8% fib area. Looks like it bounced incredibly hard, came all the way back up here into right into the 30% area, and even broke that. So there is a chance that we did flip the fibs to a short on the 4-hour, which, I mean, that is troublesome, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll last. It could just be a temporary thing where we see a red fib appear, and then maybe in a few days it'll break back high enough that it'll reset it. So really incredible sell-off here. 3,971 tick bar, or 70 tick. I guess there's one more tick there, but and then our counter bar here was not quite as big, almost 3,000 ticks, but not quite as big as this almost 4,000 tick bar. That's insane. It's one of the biggest bars I've seen. It's huge on the 4-hour. So I'm going to say as of right now, with this bounce off of the 62% area, the overnight might change our overall bias, but it's hard for me to still feel short or bearish. I'm thinking now we're probably just in a bigger range. And this might be a big enough range that it feels like trends. So I may be tuning a little bit more of, I wanted to tune some reversals for sure, but I may tune a momentum indicator as well. Because tomorrow, and the CWAP is momentum sometimes too. It'll pick those up. So I may have that in my pocket no matter what. But as far as it goes right now, I'm going to say on the NQ chart, just looking at that 4-hour, I don't think we're going to have a day like those coming up this week. But I mean, I could be proven wrong. You never know with news, and that does beg the question: how much news are we actually going to have? Let's take a look real quick and just see if we have any news worth looking at for the holiday week here. And it looks to me like we don't have much. I'll pull it up in here. And Monday we don't have anything. We have some other currency news, but not USD. At least until Thursday. We have an unemployment claim coming up on Thursday, so we might actually see some movement on Thursday and Friday if that pushes into Friday. So it looks like the unemployment claim could potentially push it. If it's a big miss or hit, it usually will. It'll move it one way or the other. So we do have crude oil. That's orange news. I don't know if that'll really do anything. I kind of doubt it. Not seeing a lot of movement lately with oil news, but it's not impossible. So keep your eyes peeled. You never know. Alrighty, let's go ahead. We'll tune another indicator. I'm going to leave CWAP right now where it's at. I think it's okay. 63%. Tempted to kind of mess with it, but I don't know. 63 is not bad. It's actually done really, really well. So I may put on some scalping money management as well in Predator, so it's not such a big risk and maybe set some really low targets so I just have an easy win week, but I don't know. We'll see. All right, Chompsky bands or shark fin. Which one's next? Let's do shark fin. I want to see if I can get some reversals going. I have a feeling we'll see some reversal situations pop up this week. I know maybe I'm wrong, but it's usually where it's slower I see those. So, and I'm kind of just expecting slower still, even with the news coming up Thursday. I just think slower is generally the case with big holidays. It just does. It's my experience what we get. So, all right, these settings are already spitting out a winning setting. It's showing a 54% win rate, not huge, but that's definitely more wins than losses. So let's go ahead and see if we can make this better. That is with a target profit of 60 ticks. Let's try 52. See what we get. That's about where my bar size is. All right, so, still at 54-ish% right here, so that's not too bad. I'll go ahead and try a few different setting changes. I think I'm going to change the RSI. We'll change it to a 25 from 14 input here. And make it a little harder to hit that. Oh, wow. Okay, so that was a pretty good jump, but man, I lost a lot of trades. All right, I'll try 20. No, 20 didn't help. Let's try a couple. Well, we were at 14. I'll try 18. And we'll go to 22. Yeah, I see I'm losing some trades, but not in the right direction. So 16. Yeah, I'm not really enjoying any of these. It's not doing much. We could probably put it back around 25 and then maybe lower this a little bit and see if we can't make this a little better on our overbought and oversold areas. See if 25 still spits out that same. Yeah, okay, it is. It's calculating correctly. Let's change this from 85 to 80. And let's change this from 15 to 20. This is your thresholds for overbought and oversold. Okay, lowering them didn't. It did bring more trades on the table, but it did not help the situation. So we'll try 75, and we'll do 25 as our thresholds for overbought and oversold. And we're back to the 54% win rate there. So when we traded a RSI resilience to a little bit less stringent on the overbought oversold, didn't really help us much. So I could roll with this. It's pretty dang stringent. You're not getting a whole lot of trades. That's 14 trades. It's barely a trade a day. Boy, I'd hate to have just one trade and then lose. That would kind of suck. But it does happen. So let's see here. We could turn on the minute verification. That's always an option. Let's try that. I probably need to lower some things because of the stringency is so high. Yeah, see, it's not even taking a trade anymore. So if we do that and then drop this to like 21, we'll see what happens here. This forces a minute chart to also be in sync with the. Drop it more. It has to be in sync with the chart that you're looking at. And in order, like they both have to have the same criteria hit. And that's not working, so let's do 80-20 on our overbought oversold real quick. No, it's still not working. Yeah, I don't like any of this, so we'll drop it one more time just to get more trades on the table. And then we'll try a couple other minute charts before we go back to. Oh, goodness, not that. There we go. I think we're going to have to go back to the settings. They're a little more stringent than I wanted, but they are working. So it may be the way to go. Yeah, none of this is looking promising to me at this point. Not at all. So we'll take the minute-based verification off. We'll leave any reversal after the wave hits. We had that on before. And then we'll change the, what did we change? The thresholds back to 85.15. That should put us right back where we were. Not really close. And then we change the input to 25. And like I said, I don't love it, but it's better than nothing. It's a pretty good win rate. 14 trades, that's not a huge sample, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the chart, and we'll see where those are plotting. Hopefully we're seeing some really good areas. There's one there, that green dot. All right, let's see what else we get. The red dot up here, there's a loser. Here's a winner. A loser. It looks like it was not winning during the trending phases of the market last week, so take note of that. If you're in a hard trend, it's probably not the indicator to be using against the trend for the week. Now this is a great win. Wow. Was that during news? I'm sure it was during news. And we're not seeing anything for that day. We'll go back a couple more days. That's a loser, but in the right area. And a really, really solid winner there. And winner there. That would be a winner, but not a great runner. Winner, winner. Okay, so it's in these areas where it is bouncing pretty heavy, so I do like that. Even in this trend where it was selling off really hard, that's not a bad thing to see. So I'll say I'm okay with this setting. There was a one here that man, I just barely missed that one, but that's all right. I think if it can go in the right direction, then we will probably be all right on that. So let's go ahead. We will. I may have to reset NinjaTrader before it works correctly on this Predator. I've had issues with some of my indicators. I think I got glitched up last week. So all right, that's two. We got our CWAP and our shark fin. Let's see what we can do here with the bands, because I want to see if we can't get a decent setting on these. It seemed like we had okay settings. I can't remember now. Yeah, our MOM setting or MOM setting for momentum, it's not looking great. Let's go ahead and load one of our previous tuned settings to see if we can't just apply one that's already worked and see if it doesn't fit. Sometimes that's the easy way to do it, sometimes it's not. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright, so momentum was 50%. That's not very impressive at all, so we will try double click the bands here to get into the menu. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to try a different template here. Try the 8th. And for those of you wondering, I do have the templates pasted inside of the MNQ chat room as well if you wanted to check them out. And if you're ever trying to get something to show on the bands, you can always just move the chart. It will move it. Wow. What the smokes did I do there? Oh, okay, so it's a 42. Win rate's through the roof on that, but really low risk to reward ratio there, so I'm not sure if I want to stick with that. Tempting though, very tempting, especially with a runner. You get enough wins, you will get a runner eventually. That's one trick that I know a lot of people like to do on M&Q. Alright, let's try tune settings here from October. The last one was this 8th. I'm going to remember that for that one, just because I like the way that second entry is looking a lot. Alright, we can get a second entry that's that hot. We're bound to win at least something. Okay. I didn't hit apply, sorry about that. Alright, move the chart, and holy smokes, that's a 1-to-1 ratio here with this one. Alright, we're looking at almost 20 trades, 18 trades here on the momentum, I'm going to stick with these settings right here. Which settings was this? I'll go ahead and I'll just save it again and post it again because I'm not huge on this because the risk to reward ratio is a little off. But the profitability is 3 points. It's not huge. It is winning. It's just so much better over here for some reason. It's more than a 1 to or a 0.5 to 1, so that is actually doable. And we can see right here, we have 177 points won versus 148 lost. It's not a great one. We'll go ahead and look at some of these trades and see where they're triggering. So we've got a single here. That's the first entry. Second entry down here at the very, very bottom. That's a double triangle. First entry here. Another first entry here. These have almost all of them won. This one's considered a loss because it did not have the X. If you don't have that X right there, you didn't exit. That's where your exit band is. And so you want to look for those exit bands. That X right there is yellow going long. It'll be pink going short. And so let's keep going backwards. This is a loser here. I don't know if we had another. Yeah, we had a 2 up here, a double up here. That's a second entry. That was a winner. Second entries are looking pretty good here in the past. First entry, second entry here, I believe. The second entry did not consider it a second entry because we'd have had 2 arrows if it did. Unless I'm just, and maybe it got overlapped somehow, but it doesn't look like a second entry arrow. And there could be a reason for that. Well, it says buy 2, so it is a second entry. It's overlapped. That's interesting. Wonder if we can make that spread out at all. No, they shouldn't plot over each other that way. That's kind of weird. So yeah, that's a weird malfunction, but it did. That is a second entry there. And you can tell if you double click it and you look, it's automatically going to say buy or buy 2. And so buy is going to be your first entries, like this one's just going to say buy, and it'll have a number. And if the next number is a 2, it should be buy 2 for a second entry. So this one also may have overlapped here. We'll double check it. Buy 2, yeah, that has an extra number there, and that's a 2 for the buy. So that is a second entry. I don't know why. It's not supposed to overlap like that. So we may have an error in the code, but I don't know what that would be because it's not doing it on all of them. This one did not hit, but it ran. So my predator settings would have hit this. So that's a win that's hidden. Because I set my trail somewhere around 40 ticks to start and a break even. And that should have hit right there. So I would have either made a little money on that or about broken even. I think I would have made some money on that actually. So I think it's 12 points. Looking good on our shark fin there. We had some news or something here. It's choppy as heck. Then we have this. That's single one. I'm pretty sure it's a single. It is. Single here one. That's a pretty decent looking exit as far as I can tell. Another double, I'm assuming. Here, it's not plotting it correctly. Buy 2, yeah, that's a double. So that's a second entry there. Am I crazy, or is it, yeah, they're sometimes plotting correctly. I don't understand quite why it's doing that. But we'll have to work on that because I don't like that at all. This one actually triggered after the bar. It should have triggered here. So I don't know. There's something weird going on for sure. But I will say, just looking at these recent second entries, we are getting some killer entries. So I'm not exactly sad about the entries. I thought the 0.48 to 1 was going to be a really bad risk to reward ratio. And I think if anything, it's just showing pretty solid. And some of these are entering right after. That's weird. Wonder if I've got a glitch. That's not normal for me. It wasn't that way last week that I remember. So I need to get on that and fix that. That's bizarre. I have a feeling it's gonna go away once I load the chart or restart the chart. So All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and save these settings, and I will post them inside of the MNQ Live price action chat for everyone to use, but I will say with a disclaimer, use at your own discretion, use at your own risk. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is basically just how I have developed my trading system. For me, it's not a guarantee to work for everybody. So do use it with discretion. You have to do your own due diligence and see what works for you, because I know not everything is going to work the same for everybody. So appreciate everyone's time, appreciate everyone's effort. I hope everyone has a very successful trading week and a very Merry Christmas. This is Chompsky. I'm wishing you success.